the shadow. The distance from the top of the building to the top tip of the shadow is 37 meters. Find the length of the shadow. If necessary, round your answer to the nearest tenth. What do you notice about that triangle? It's 90 degrees. Very good, Liana. It shows 90 degrees right there in the corner. You flip that one. And then it will walk you through this page. Okay? So if I have a right triangle and I know one side is 34 and I know one side is 37 and I need to find that third side, what am I going to use? A, B, and C. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And we put an equal sign because we know it's 90 degrees. The important part about this is that we make sure we put the letters in the right spot. Which one's the most important letter? 37 is going in for C. Very good. It's across from the 90 degrees. What do you want to put in for A? 34 squared. For B? X? Okay. What's my next step? We have to square them. Everybody use your calculator. Get 34 squared. Get 37 squared. And then we'll get the answers. I want everybody to take a chance to be able to calculate those. You want to do the squared. So that's that button. 34 squared, I'm stealing off Caitlin's paper, 1,156 plus x squared equals 1,369. Okay, now what do I do? Subtract what? 1,156. Shouldn't be a negative. 200 and what? 213. Anybody else get 213? Yes? And my next step. The check mark, right? The square root. This is where you want to round to the nearest tenth. Joyce, what are you looking for? Okay, so get up and get a pencil. Is that empty? To the square root of 213? Okay, this is not Mr. Bree's responsibility to get you a pencil.
I already went there.
You what?
I already went there.
Okay, so what, you're gonna just sit here? So what we talked about yesterday. You got 14 point what? 14.6. Whoa, oh, they don't, oh, what would my label be? Doesn't show it in the picture, but meters. Nicely done, you guys. Nicely done. Okay. So we look at the next problem. Or sorry, I should back up. Any questions on that one? You guys are really good on that. So the next one says, determine whether or not the given side length is a right triangle.
I don't know why the first time.
Weird. Okay. This one, they're saying you have sides 6, 7, and 9. Is it a right triangle, not a right triangle, or not enough information? Miss Hoff's going to give you a hint. Never select not enough information. Never select that. They're trying to trick you. So how do I determine if it's a right triangle or not?
You scrub them. And you see like or like can you do like A squared and then like 6 would be A.
Okay, but what's different about this equation, Liana, than the one we used up above?
They're already written. It doesn't give us like a picture.
It doesn't give us a picture. Are we going to use A squared?
Yes.
Are we going to use B squared?
Yes.
Are we going to use C squared?
Yes.
What's different about this than the problem up above then? Oh, we do know which is what side.
Right?
So then put them in random order.
No, there's a certain order you got to put them in.
These two greatest.
Allison, what are you writing on your paper right now? Ooh. Ooh, ooh.
Oh, wait. Side lengths.
What is something, we're trying to decide if this is a right triangle. This was just a little bit different. They give us all three sides.
7 squared plus.
Oh, I don't know if I want to put an equals there. Put a box, because we're trying to decide if they're equal. Now, stop, everyone. I understand that you may have thought that, but what you guys were saying to me was not this. We put a box here because we're trying to decide if it is equal. Does it matter which number goes in what spot? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Stop calculating and look at me. Stop calculating and look. It matters that Allison put this in this order. Why? There's something that's super important. Courtney? Okay, so how do you know what's the most important one, Liana?
Like the greatest one.
The biggest one has to be by itself, right? Does it matter if you put 6 first or 7 first? No. Technically, Miss Huff always goes small, medium, large. Okay? All right, let's do this first one. 6 squared is 36. 7 squared is 49. 9 squared is 81. 36 plus 49, 85. So would you select right triangle or not a right triangle?
Not a right triangle.
Not a right triangle.
Because they're not equal.
Do the second one on your own. 18, 24, and 30. Oh, good call. Thank you for pointing that out. I will fix it. 18, 24, and 30. Determine if right triangle or not a right triangle. No, you cannot use that calculator. No. Something you're inputting is incorrect. Yes, because it will, you have to use that calculator.
Oh, you just square it.
Delete that all back out of there. That's why you have multiple, now type it in there. Yep. Right triangle, yes or no?
Yes.
It is. 324 and 576. What's 38 squared? 900. And when you added this, it gets you 900. So then you would say right triangle, right? Because this is equal. Okay, I don't think we have to do those last two because I think you guys are pretty good at what you're doing, right? So just know that that problem is going to take you a little bit of work, but do not select not enough information because they're trying to trick you on that. All right. So that was Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Now we're to yesterday's. Find the distance between points A and B. That is, find the length of the segment connecting A and B. Round your answer. Oh, be careful here. Do you see that? Hundredth. Hundredth. So this one's going to make us round differently. What should I do on this? Very good. We want to make a right triangle here, okay? How tall up and down is that triangle? 4. Okay. Okay, so we start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. Ignore this right here because you're just counting how far across it goes. So what do I do with 4 and 6 now? Okay, so what would it look like, Liana?
So 6, oh yeah, so 4 squared plus 6 squared equals 2 squared.
Okay, you guys calculate what C is. Now notice it says nearest hundredth. Nearest hundredth, that's 2 digits after the decimal. $52, right? Okay, when we take the square out of 52, now hundredth means I have to have 2 numbers. What's after the 2? What's after that 1? So is that 1 big enough to make him round? No. So 7.21. Today we got to be careful because Alex wants us to go to the hundredth. So you have to have both those numbers, 7.21. Okay? 4, calculate the distance between n, which is -7.8, and a, which is -3.4. Round to the nearest hundredth. Now I'm going to make you do this differently. Some of you are drawing a triangle on there, but remember this is going to be on your computer screen. So drawing that triangle may not be as easy. So another way we can do this, remember, is to subtract our coordinates. So to find a, one side of the triangle, we need to subtract our x's. So we would say -7 minus -3. Type that into your calculator. -7 minus -3 is -4. But what is Miss Hoff going to tell you about that? You just make it a +4. So then b, what am I going to subtract on b? 8 minus 4, which is 4. So how do I set my equation up? 4 squared plus 4 squared equals c squared. Calculate that on your own. Round to the nearest hundredth. 2 numbers after. 2 numbers after. Look at that third number to decide if you should round. Okay, now everybody look at your answer. You need to have 2 numbers after your decimal. Then you look at the third number to decide if you should change that second number. So on Tone's screen, he has 5.6568542449. So I know I'm looking at these right here because I need 2 numbers after. I look next door. Is 6 big enough to make him round? So my answer would be 5.66. 5.66. You have to have 2 numbers after the decimal because they said hundredth. Okay? This is the whole summary of what you're doing today. Scratch paper is in the back corner. Get started on what you're doing. If you finish, you can turn it in. I will help you if you need help.